House, Sweden, Facebook. Yeah, we got Sweden. We got three from Sweden. Upper Michigan, another one from Sweden. Wow. Sweden's all over the place. Sweden is in the majority today. So yeah, we have a special show. This is my beloved sister, Tzveta DaVinci. I'm as close to her as I am to Amanda Lawrence. And we go back a long ways. And 2 years ago we met because she demanded that she do a reading for me. She said she never did anything for people, but that she was told that she had to do one for me because I'm special. So
Very
after
special.
about so after about 2 months of ignoring her messages, she got mad at me, and we became friends. And we did a show 2 years ago, and we've done several of them. We did two or three of them using my spiral that she did. A lot of our friends in Sology have had their spirals done by her. The spiral is a very interesting thing. Let me show it to you real quick. It's a really interesting because it's based on a lot of the different metaphysical calendars or forecast, including a spiral formation, including the elements, including the seasons, including numbers in the form of years, and including colors. And it's a really interesting kind of deal because what it is basically is as you go around the spiral, which is the spiral of your life, there will be linear lines that might go from say age 13 to maybe 26 and then 41. And in those linear moments that they capture the same essence and the same energies are present as they were before. And you can look in your past and you can look in your future and you can kind of do your own reading, once you get to use
Yes.
the hang of it. But we've had a lot of friends that have had the spiral done, a lot of friends of Sology, and everybody speaks very highly of it. So today we have my beautiful sister Tzveta DaVinci, world traveler, big ball, big balling woman, and she's she's lived on like four continents, and in a past life, she cut my head off with a sword. What else can we talk about? But today we're going to talk about integration. Kelly Bird says, I had my spiral. For me, it was awesome. It's a must have. Cool. So, yeah. So today we're going to talk about integration. Uh, I should give a little backdrop though, because so we met 2 years ago, which would have been in October, November. No, actually we did a show like in October of 2 years ago. And then I ended up at your house in December, 2 months later, after three or four other places I stopped by. And then 6 months later, Morgan and I are being married in the DaVinci Spiral in Andover, New Jersey, with a lot of our friends, a lot of friends. And so then what happened?
And
Then Morgan went back, and I came back for a short visit. And then I went to Hawaii. Then Morgan came to Hawaii. Then you came to Hawaii, and all these incredible things happened to you. Like so many things happened to you. And man, our time in Hawaii was incredible, full of activations, initiations, invocations, and probably a few inoculations. Giving us vaccinations for our what do you call it? Anyway, I can't remember. Um, all right. So, yeah. So then you had some major things happen. We don't have to talk about it, but you had some major things happen. Everyone knows Christian transitioned in 2018. And God, so much has happened. And he's been so present. And then you had some other things happen. And you claimed your sovereignty. You went to South Florida. You're living the life as walking through fear and the unknown. You went home to Bulgaria. You're leaving very soon and coming back to the U.S., jumping into your fears and the unknown. And integration is the order of the day. So how do we get to that balance? How do we sustain the integration, the balance, utilizing the DaVinci Spiral? Let me pull up a picture of
well,
it.
okay, let's just say, wow, what an introduction. And I just want to say that all this you have been playing a major big role in my last 2 years shifts, integration, experiences, you and Morgan. Yeah, it's the moment I saw your first video, my fire just said, I'm on your vision. I see your vision. I saw the vision. I didn't see you actually as a person at that time. I felt the vision, and this is what I saw and what I believe in. And it's been a lot of setbacks that we call it in a human term. But now I'm getting more and more clear of what these setbacks, what these challenges are, what these provocative experiences that we go that appeared. And for me, it's one confirmation coming again and again. No matter how hot, how dark it looks, it only appears. And this is my kind of one of my role to give you hope. It's not even a hope, to inspire to this. And I'm thinking now about something that exactly last year, 11/11, I woke up. I was very sick. And I did a video that I say goodbye, that I was done physically and I was gonna die. That's how I felt. And then 11/11, I woke up and it's my next journey was review what I have to do. And one of the things that I wrote at that time, it was.
Was this a year, 1 year ago?
Exactly a year ago in New Jersey. When I left New Jersey, it was a very powerful moment. And I had to leave people, places that I dearly love, that are absolutely part of my journey, that I will always cherish. Yet there was another part for me, and I didn't know yet. I didn't know at that time why I was evicted. But it was a very clear message. If you stay here, you're gonna die physically. And it's not on a bad way. It was on a very clear mission. It's like, there's no resting. And then, just here's something. Some people ask me a lot, Tzveta, when is it gonna stop? It's not gonna stop. It's not. It's gonna get faster and faster. And this is what we are learning to ride these bigger waves. There's no break. If we think there's gonna be a break of what we think it's a break, there's not gonna be a break. It's gonna get faster. And I'm here to support this newfound ground that we're all finding ourselves. And what I wrote was still today, it's like very powerful. When you see the shadow in front of you, and the shadow, it's very, very dark. And the darker it's the shadow, just know, just behind you, it's a presence of light. And this is like, it's so powerful because everything that we've been taught, it's to start to question it and to go backwards. Everything is flipped upside down. And a lot of you know this, a lot of you. And it's just like a confirmation for each one of us, our own journeys that we travel. And there's no the guidance, but it's a very personal. And I have started to take it even more and more. It's a very intimate and personal, this journey of ours. It's very, yeah. So with the spiral, the integration, it's getting more clear. So this is, I don't know.
But I just,
yeah.
I have a picture of it. But before you say that, I just want to go back to the flipping upside down. I never heard it put that way. Yeah, I kind of feel like a pancake or a tortilla.
We have to be baked from both sides if we want to be right. Actually, it's brilliant, right. Brilliant what you say.
Here, I don't know if this picture will help you here. The one I just put on the screen. Does that help?
is
Does that
that.
help?
Let me see which one is this. No, does not. I
This
don't know. Oh
this is
no,
my
this is my
yeah.
spiral.
That,
I want to show. I'm gonna show. I'm gonna work with the collective spiral, so more people can make sense. So this is the spiral that I activate my home here. I mean the home of my parents. This is where I was born. This is a very significant.
You were born there?
Right here.
You were
My
born there?
grandfather built this house like 60 years ago. There are two big trees that they were planted when I was born. Where they're both massive trees, and something with trees. And
That's
you remember,
powerful, man.
very
That's
conscious.
powerful.
Yeah. So
well, I mean, there's a lot of energy creating. Obviously, that's got to be a portal. You got two trees. It's been in your family. You've been there since you were born. Wow, that's amazing.
This is building a garden and planting trees when somebody is born and when somebody is transition. It's in every culture, ancient culture. It's the connection with the tree, and this is what we did for Christian, the ceremony, planting of the tree, and watching them grow, as we watch our babies grow. The same to get into this cycle of birth and death, that it's part of us. And these are the two major transitions. And none of this, it's actually, again, this is flip up story. And I've experienced it personally. If you want to talk about this, it's very powerful.
Hey, we're here to talk about whatever you want to talk about. So I have a question though. So
Yes.
as I was sitting here thinking about what you were saying, let's see. How weird. Anyway, integration isn't necessarily balance. I was just thinking about that. I was thinking, wait a minute, integration isn't balance. Integration is integration. Integration describes to me what you said at the beginning of the show, which is people call me up and say, "Was Tzveta, when's it going to stop?" And you're saying it's not going to stop.
Never.
And integrate, yeah, because it's always in motion, and integration is in motion. Or balance sounds like, I mean, it could be, you could be say, okay, I visualize myself for you in balance as you're moving, but integration to me sounds more like alignment, like, I don't know. So I will
talk about this a lot. This is what the whole show, it's on this, but before I just came, this is very powerful topic. I will just I experienced in one of my hypnosis training, I went to a very deep stage where I experienced at the same time, I experienced my birth and I experienced me dying. And this is the flip side, that everything, the pancake, I will take this because it's brilliant. Until we are not turned. And
I'm not a human. I'm not going to say I am soul anymore. I'm going to say I am a pancake. Hey, listen, I want you to continue, but I don't usually go to the comments. I usually let the show flow. Sometimes I'll pull one out. But three people said something at the same time, and this is very cool, because I know there's an expanded portal created right now by everybody involved, both here on the replay and in the non-physical. Okay, if you get my drift, there's more to who's here than meets the eye. So Iria Eander said somehow, said Todd Medina somehow just entered my phone call. I was speaking with my son, who's a traveling man, who's traveling, and your message. And then the Jamaican lady is on my phone. I don't know. So I don't really totally get what she was saying, but it sounds like it was something we might call paranormal. Then Wayne Smith Jr., who's been on the show a couple of times, he says, Tzveta has a lot of energy. I can feel her through the computer. And I know she does because I know her, but I think there's actually a collective energy here. I can feel it. And Lara West reflects something very similar. But here's another one. Uh, Aria says, this is very, very scary. I think she's got an emoji. I heard her speak of the shadow, and then behind me, I turned around and there was a huge shadow. So, anyway, having said that, there's more coming in too. But so go back to what is integration?
We are doing it right now. And the energy that we feel, that everybody's feeling, it's not me. It's not me, it's the collective. And this is exactly, it's the power of intention, power of the collective to awaken our deep asking, our deep. So many of us have been on our knees, have been asking on our knees from the depth of our hearts to make this shift, to get out of this. So I've got chills as well. But it's our collective, first individual, our collective distress. And I've been in a deep rage, and it's a rage of the soul that it's emerging. It's been emerging forever. It's been, for me personally, started in 1989 when the Soviet Union, this fake separation was, this was for me the beginning, and was the beginning of the collective awakening and bridging the two worlds, the separation, one of them. There's so many separations that we have to, and this is part of the integration where I'm using the spiral and I'm getting so more and more confidence how powerfully it works. So just imagine the collective. This is the year, this is what your spiral will look like, something like this. Just need to fix that color. I don't know
The
how.
color.
The color, I don't
Turn
know
on.
this color.
Well, you can if you hold it up close to the camera.
Okay,
I mean, we can see it. You can't really see the colors.
Just to
And if you
have
hold
the idea, just to have the idea, each spiral, it looks like this. And I teach people a lot of things. I teach you how to read it, because this is your personal big book. This is the biggest book, your guru, your guide, your map, your blueprint. And I teach you how to read it. So not only you start to integrate, and this is what you were talking about, this line, these are channels of activation. I point to you. And for example, let's say 2014, this is the collective spiral. This is the red, this is the channel of time when you go back to 1996, there is alignment here. So whatever we have experienced in 2014, it's aligned with the same underlying energetics of 1996, which is very powerful.
So on that, here I'm going to show them a clearer picture just to give them, make sure everybody.
Can I take a picture? Let's take a picture and to your phone.
Take a picture and send it to me. Yeah.
Yes.
So what she's saying is, if you look over here, like right here where my arrow is, right? This would be this is 96, but that's age, 96, right? That's age.
Yes. Yeah, but this is different activation, but you can see, yes. This is my.
But anyway, so these lines, like you're saying here, okay, so like, and we don't have to go into the full.
These are channels. Like this line, channels of activation.
So like, yes. And so this one here, this line here, this green line, this is just an example. That's 25, 61.
These are the
and
years.
It looks like 97, as well as 7 and 43 and 79. So in these years, there's a certain pattern or combination of different dynamics that create your reality, or that it's more likely. I don't know. How would you say
this
that?
is I will say this the energetic, the priorities, the background, the foundation that is given to us. It's like the weather, it's gonna be wet. So What can we do with raining? You can choose. There's nothing good or bad in the scheme of the whole creation. This what we do with this. It's one energy, and this is the duality where we dwell in our duality. This is the dwelling. So to integrate oneself, it's an ancient knowledge. Nothing is mine. I just put together things, and there's a part that as I've been activating people, this is our collective. Until I activate 108 108 placeholder of the spiral archetypals. You see 108. It's
what is that? What does that 108 mean? It's in the middle. It says
108.
Yeah.
Now the top symbol, it's a very ancient Bulgarian symbol that represents a lot of things, but to me personally, actually I have a tattoo here on this one, right here. This is a very ancient Bulgarian, so I had to decode my own personal Bulgarian codes. And then I'm giving each person the DaVinci code. So there are 108 archetypals of the spider. When I activate these 108 archetypals energetics, but just bear in mind, but behind one archetypal, I've been activating like 50 or 60 people, but I don't have a place holding on each and every place of 108 as a collective. And this is what I've been told, that once I activate and I have people in each and every place hold, we are collectively gonna make it. It's like a click where something, I don't know, these are my this is my work that I do.
Okay,
yes.
so this is a channel you're getting. Let's back up a little bit. So, okay, so what you're saying is, now since I've seen this or anytime I've ever seen it, you can look at the elements: fire, water, air, earth. You can look at the colors. You can look at the age. You can look at the years, and then you can look at all the different intersections and all that. But
and
I've never,
energetics.
Yeah, I've never seen. Well, I've never gotten to the point with you where you talked about these archetypes. So, what you've downloaded is there's 108 archetypes, and I'm asking a question, not us making a statement. But so you're saying that there's 108 archetypes that are in our experience or that have been in our experience. Would that be correct?
Yes, according to the spiral. And this is just one point of perceiving the world, but it has helped me and other people to integrate there. So the integration comes from recovering the original design, and this is what we are all doing in different ways. There's so many different modalities. Here it's put like a 30 years of my own experiences, research, training, and on many different levels. But how? I'm gonna use my own spiral just to show you something that fascinating.
Do you want me to put your
no, I'm gonna show here something. Just it's very, very obvious. I'm 52 now. I'm 52. I'm gonna reveal my age.
Reveal your age.
Oh my God! I'm revealing it. We are revealing. We are not.
So when you're considering the archetypes, are you as part of the integration to acknowledge those archetypes within yourself? And
first it's yeah, I'm okay. First it's to work on your own spiral, and this is what I have found, and maybe will resonate with some people. Until we work our own personal, intimate, personal path, this is as you go in your own center, only then you automatically are taken and you see the bigger picture of the collective. Some people work from outside in, some people work from inside out. And this is where the duality that we dwell between hits, the bigger duality between water and fire. If you show this collective spiral, it's the whole stage. It's set up between the masculine and feminine, fire and water, the duality that we are dwelling. So this is one things that we are integrating. This is the first big integration because for me, what is happening, the distress outside, it's only projected on a base that there's a distress within. So many people are helping of recovering their own original self, as we all know, as we heal our inner conflict, we contribute. We contribute. And
You just,
something that,
you just said you just said something I think is pretty important. So you said not everybody works the same way, and so some people work from the outside in, and some people work from the inside out, and that whatever's on the outside's on the inside, and whatever's on the inside's on the outside. So basically, they're going to the same place anyway. But working on it from the inside, well, I guess you can use the spiral
yes,
uh, whether you
yes.
work from the inside or the outside, because you're looking at what the energies were present, let's say on the same linear line, I don't know, 20 years ago. You can see what's readily there and available and present. And then you could think about where you were at on the inside. Or you could look at the circumstances on the outside and work backwards. Yeah, that's cool.
Both ways, both ways. And as we all starting to realize that male and female are needed in cooperation. And this is where this is why I'm DaVinci, the Leonardo da Vinci. It's a whole brain thinking. It's integration. It's integration of the art and the science, integration of the inner and the outer. And this is where we are collectively bridging this. We cannot be one-sided anymore. It doesn't feel good. We need the totality, the wholeness. And through the spiral, personally, we need to walk first to understand our life, our own experiences as we understand it. Then we start to know why we came here. So it's a very clear guidance through the spiral how we. So for example, I will ask you, let's see, for me, this is my own. Right now I'm 52, I'm here. I am coming back here very consciously to work out my 16, my crazy teenage years. They were insane. They were so turbulent.
Right
But
here,
now,
right there.
yes,
That's 16. So as an example, let me make it smaller. Hang on. Let me see if I can get the okay. So
I'm gonna get it
you're
down. So
you're
I
well, how old are you?
am working my
59?
16. I'm 52.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
It's
Okay, so
okay.
you're
I can be any
16.
age. I'm
I'm just playing.
52. If I want to
Okay.
understand what's happening now with me right now, I go back to 16 and see, because this is the first time of introducing, it's the same underlying emotional energy. Then I can have another reference point where I was 34 as well. This is another reference point. So the first things what I do with people one-on-one, it's to point and to guide them. It's not a reading that I'm going to tell you what is going to happen. I'm doing a reading of the background energies. What is the priority? It's to make
And
your own integration. So
yeah, and
let's
then you said before when I watch you do people's and do my own that so you're providing like the background information or what's going on, like the scenery,
energetic.
like the landscape,
Yes,
and then it's up to and then but what another part of the spiral is that because you have past experiences with the same energies present, then you can actually find some congruence or at least help you to help you to move forward because you are more aware of the energies that are there because you have some past experiences to reflect on. So like this line 16,
yes,
okay?
yes.
So you have the blue, you have the blue and
I'm
the
here.
yellow.
Yes.
you're in the fire overall.
No,
You
I'm
just
not
came
in the
out of the
I'm not in the fire. No, I am
no.
in the
So the
water stage. So I'm just gonna give you
okay, you're still
example how I'm working it. I'm gonna give you
okay.
example. So
Okay.
when you see what stage you are, what is the background? I'm in the background of water. But because I'm going to go a little back, these are two crosses that each one of us, but the cross, it's not religious, it's the, I call it the integrity of your soul that carries two crosses that I will identify and see what are the major challenges. For me, in this case, my major challenges are my emotions. This is my most powerful times of turbulence, challenging and changes are in the water stages. So knowing this, I'm kind of preparation, yet going deeper, what are the challenges? But the two gods, I always love this story of the hero that goes on a journey to find its treasure. And there's always these two scary creatures that sit and guide our most precious treasure because it's worth it. And our challenges appear like they appear. They're only appearances. There's something scary. But these two gods, they are appointed by us, from us on a higher level. They're appointed to hold this precious treasure of ours. And when we face, and what are the gods? But I'm doing it very short. I go in much details in the reading, but these two gods, and this is where we all are. These are our own personal fears. Our own, each one of us come with a fear. And when we acknowledge, when we face the fear, when we do it from our heart, the fear, our own fear, these two creature, they submit to us and they say, how can I serve you? And this is a powerful moment in each one. And it's when we start to recognize this, and only then our most bigger challenges, they become our best allies. So these fears, they transform in our own presence. And this is it's a whole alchemical magical process that we, each one of us, we sign for this. So it's a very practical. I'm a very practical. It's the four elements: the mind, the emotion, the action, and the physicality. They're all aligned. They're all, and they're variations. Sometimes I need right now for me to fully embrace my emotions, to go through my water, to go in the depth of my unconsciousness as I uncover or as I bring light into my unconsciousness. I'm bringing more aspects. And this is exactly what I'm doing now very consciously. It's not easy. It's not easy. And I'm very confident right now. If it's not easy for you, congratulate yourself, because each true spiritual awakening, or awakening, even I don't even want to say it's spiritual awakening of the truth of who we are. If there's no how to say pain, it's not true. And I'm not saying that it has to be painful, but there's a pressure. And the pain is not to hurt us, it's a guide. But yes, through this spiral can be it's kind of a map, personal map. What is going on, where you've been, to bring it on, to see where you are now, and to see where you're going. And then things start to kind of awaken. As there are two parts of this. I activated by myself. I need 2 hours to. It's what is a beauty that it's hand done with my hands, and I bless it and I activate it. I've been thinking for a long time to do it on a computer, but it's gonna lose its, until I don't do this place holding, I'm gonna do it by hand. And then I'm gonna do a program. But this is, many times I want to leave this. Many times I say, I'm done. I cannot do this. It's too big. And then it's like, it gives me a slap, and it gives me a slap. And it's like, it's confirmation. It's becoming more and more. And if something comes back to you that you came here to do, it's going to come back and bite you.
Yeah. So and bite you, and hug you and kiss you, and then the two guardians that are guarding your dreams. I like that. You know, where they say, "How can I serve you?" That's a great way metaphorically to look at fears. So on the perimeter of the spiral, there's
Yes.
fire, water, and the other
Yes.
two elements,
Yes.
and each one of those covers what, like a 7-year period of
Different.
time, something like that.
9 years. This is the
9 years.
the
So
step and
okay, yeah,
of the spiral.
yeah.
Yes.
So in each one of those 9-year cycles, there's a predominant.
Yes.
The others are present because if you look at the
Yes.
little
Yes.
triangles that come in, they're different colors. But overall, during that 9 years, the person's typically working with the predominant element. So, can
Yes.
you tell
Yes.
me if a person's in fire, in water,
I'm
in air,
gonna
in
talk
earth,
about
which,
me. Yes.
yeah, yeah. Like just to give an example of what
Yes.
would be
So,
the predominant, the predominant landscape or energies that
yeah.
they're dealing with from an elemental standpoint,
Yeah,
just to get them.
yes, that's a great point, and it's like
Mhm.
it's a big part of it. It's the, I call it the energetic backgrounds that supports you. It's always
Mhm.
these are my premises. The four elements are supporting our experiences here to have a fuller experience. So let's say I just passed the air element stage of learning and mentality working with the mind, and I just went into my water. Let's say this, for example, but I'm still stuck on the learning. But my predominant energies, and I see it, it's stop learning, go in and work on your own emotions. Face your own emotion, acknowledge them, deal with them, invite them, accept them. And this is where I am, since I'm like, this is my 5, 6 stage, and this is where I use the tarot card. So I'm in a production. I've been into this, but everything is happening simultaneously. I'm doing the DaVinci Spiral Tarot cards. They're 36 cards that are expressions of this path that we go, each one of us. So what is happening for me is that I'm in the water element, and I have to dive deeper in the water. As well, water element, it's mother figure. Everything. I'm in with my mom every day for 2 months. It's been intense. It's like right in my face. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Like what's in your face?
My mama. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful to be able to consciously work with my parents on this part, because these are the two gods and goddesses, or the authorities. When we arrive on this earth, this is where we soak. And I talk a lot about this, the how when we are in the womb, how we soak from them the programming,
Mm.
and how to recognize this. So it's a lot of work. So what it does to welcome you, to welcome all of your parts that I work, each session I do a little healing on the major, something that needs to be healed. But what is the healing but to be in the presence of your darkness, of something? And I just want to give you a little exercise for all of you, something very practical, to look for yourself, something that um, that each one of us condemn about us. And I will give you an example with me. I condemned my vanity for the longest time. I condemned it. I was ashamed, but I'm vain, that I'm vain. And once I had to talk with my vanity. This is just one aspect, and there's so many aspects that we have condemned first within ourselves, and this is where, for me, it's the biggest, deeper work. It's within. So as I integrate my vanity, this is the integration to see it and say, you're part of me, to acknowledge it. And in this, I offer this energy game where we start to bring everything that we look up as authority, to bring them in the heart, and all people that, or parts of us that we look down, to bring them back in the heart, to complete and to become whole again. As we are already whole, we are just fragmented, and we fragment for a reason. And there's a reason why we fragmented, and the way we feel is a deep. This is a recognition of our own personal journey, to recognize, to acknowledge, and to stop and to see all the aspects. So here this help on so many different levels, but the aspect of us that we have locking the cellar, deny, condemn. So they will do a tantrum. All the aspects of us that we think they're the bad girl. And I give you another example with the smoking. We did smoking, drinking, meditation long time ago, just to make a point. I don't want to put my cigarette in the face of anyone.
No, I think. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, I can hear you.
No, my connection went out. No, you're making a point. There's a couple of really good comments that came up too. Hang on. So
Yes.
you're making the point. Whatever you condemn, they're obviously, if you're condemning anything, whether it's in yourself or anywhere, you're obviously, how you can put it a lot of different ways. You have some work to do, whatever. But there's a couple of comments here that were pretty cool, going with what you're saying, because you used the word condemned, and that you condemned your vanity, which I guess if you look at vanity, like you can look at anything and you integrate it, there's actually another side to it. If you're condemning something, what's on the other side of it, right? And then Wayne Smith said he condemned his abilities. And I thought, wow, how many of us have condemned our abilities? I mean, like we're almost making an excuse for being empathic or being psychic or whatever, right? We don't. So there's a flip side to that condemnation. I guess is what I'm saying. I'm going to put up a little clearer picture for a second, because there's a couple of people. One of them said, "Can you put it back up so I can get a better look at it?" And two, somebody said, "Where can I get one?"
Yes,
So maybe
it's on my website, on my Facebook page. Let's see. I don't know how can I put here my website and the DaVinci Spiral. Yeah,
I can do it. So you have a website, or is it on Facebook?
I have website. I have a Facebook page, Tzveta DaVinci page, where it's my kind of a page where people can do appointment. Yeah.
Your DaVinci, the DaVinci Spiral has its own webpage, though, right?
No, Tzveta DaVinci is my website, and from there you will see DaVinci Spiral Activation. Tzveta. Tzveta means flower. Here, while you're doing this, I brought a couple of years ago to my parents. I found incredible book in Bulgarian, and it's collection of beautiful stories. They're in Bulgarian, but the main story, it's called Life. It's a fairy tale. beautiful story with deeper meaning, which metaphors and entertaining. So one of the stories that is very, very dear to my heart, and it says it's like I'm just gonna try to translate. Teacher, what do I need to do so I don't feel constantly disturbed and unhappy? Um, so the teacher say, live like the flowers. And it's why it's my favorite. My name is mean flower. Tzveta mean flower. I'm named on both sides my grandmothers. This is like tradition to carry the name of your grandmothers, and this is many culture as well. So what is to live like a flower? It's to the flower grows in the dirt, in the mud, and it extract the nourishment. So we came here to experience. Sometimes, most of the time, none of us is insured from tragic accident or whatever we decide to call it. For me, it's a challenge that turns into your own purpose. But the flower gets and extracts from the dirt, and it becomes most beautiful and releases its own beautiful fragrance. So this story is kind of a story of my own personal life, of how I have worked with myself, and we are all flowers like in a forest where we cannot compare with each other. We can only have we can only refer to our own I can only compare with me 1 year ago, 2 years ago, 10 years ago, going back on the spiral. I can compare where this is my only reference point. And it's a crucially important to make our own reference point where we have been and where we now, and we cannot compare with anyone. And this is like owning your individual fragrance that we came to release to the world, and this is the gift, our joy. But it's a journey. It's a journey.
So, in other words, we need to align with our fragrance, the way we smell. No, but you know what I mean. Yeah, but that's like, right?
Yes.
Here, let me show. This is the, I pulled it up. I've got a slow signal, but it came up. Let me see here. Look, hang on. Here we go. So this actually shows a few things. This is
That's the garden. I built a garden in New Jersey. In New Jersey area, there's a shop, Cranberry Curve. I used to work there, and I built actual spiral garden. Actually, another thing I want to,
There's the spiral.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
A lot of updating I have to do on my website, even the pictures like this. It looks much more. I'm adding all the time, adding more to them to what it comes as download. Yes.
So this says here, what is DaVinci Spiral Activation Chart reading? And it says, find the energetic background of your life and how you can navigate your life with ease and joy. DaVinci Spiral is a personalized, multi-dimensional chart of your life, revealing moments of challenges and changes, and will bring clarity to your path traveled. It's a unique personal map, hand-generated and activated by Tzveta da Vinci. It is based on science, energy, sacred geometry, laws, and more. This multidimensional expression of your life path will show you the essence of your soul and the purpose behind it. We could have just read that. That's the perfect explanation. Yeah, right on. And so, so like, I've talked to some people. Now, I've had it. I've had the reading done online. We did it online. We did one when we met, and then we expanded it. You did one for Morgan. You did one as a couple. You did one on Sology, and it was everything aligns, and it's not like a fortune. It's more like a, hey, here's the information you have, present, past, parallel. Now you can kind of navigate with this information, which isn't all just book information. It's taken in all the different senses and all these spirit sciences like you're talking about. But
It allows
if somebody,
allows you. Yep. Yeah. Sorry.
no, I was just gonna say, if somebody wants to reach out and get one, they can just message you or go to
Yeah.
the DaVinci
Book
Spiral
through
Facebook
my
page, or go to,
website. Yes. Yes. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
very good. But
It
what I was
all
gonna
takes
say is it, yeah,
all
what I was gonna
takes
say is
five
that
hours. Yes.
5 hours. Holy shit.
My
So, but
site.
huh?
Okay.
5 hours. No. Because I remember talking to two different people, two sisters, right? And they each got one different. And I didn't know that they had even gotten one, but one of them sent me a message, and the other one mentioned it on a show. And they both said that they were. Now I haven't done this because I'm not that smart, but they both utilized it. We're talking about what they were talking about was how they were utilizing it every day. Like, in other words, how it was giving them clarity. And I know one of them, I haven't talked to the other one in a while, but I know one of them has gone through a lot of stuff like you have in the same time period, and how she utilizes that kind of like a heads up, like, okay, I can see what's happening now. I don't have to react, for instance, or, I know what I'm dealing with here. I don't have to go into judgment about this external energy that's coming at me, because it's really just all the same energy playing the same cyclical landscape from X number of years ago and so on. Yeah. So yeah.
Yes. Yes. And don't feel it's not about doing something. The spiral. I spent 2 hours on my own to activate you energetically. You don't even need to do anything if you don't want. You don't. You can just leave it as it. And it's all about how you personally do it. Another part, it's like the second part where you can engage and involve and start to. I teach each person how to read it, and I always stay next to me and I look, and more things are revealed. It's like unfolding. Nothing. It's revealed instantaneously. All the things. Like if you have a cake, would you rather eat one giant cake or little pieces by pieces are revealed to us, or petal by petal to put our life and more gets, and there's much more to us to this is just a stage that we are transitioning. So you don't need to work with this. It's done. The energetics, I do the
Mm,
energetics, and then
mm,
I teach you how to do it if you want to work with this. But it's nothing. It's
I
must
got you.
only if you feel. And I always say only people that are drawn to. I don't need to convince anyone. People that are drawn to
Mm,
this say, "I'm drawn to this." These are people that I somehow suspect we agree what we're gonna do. All of us.
mm.
Who is
Yeah.
gonna play who?
Who's
Yeah.
gonna play who? Well, that one past life, you chopped my head off. So I don't want to play in that. I don't want to play in that one again. I'm kidding. So today's the 10th of November, and I guess you're going to be heading back to the mainland on the
16.
16th.
Yes.
I believe we're going to be leaving here. I think we've just pretty much decided on the 16th because of weather and because of how far we got to travel, and in our schedule. Trying to not to have to make very many changes in the schedule, because we can't. But anyway, so we're headed
I'm gonna
your
see you
way.
soon.
You're
I'm gonna
you're
see you
headed
soon.
this
I
way.
know.
Yeah, and so I know we'll see each other by January, but you never know.
Before
So
that,
we
I want to
should do.
finish something
Yeah, go ahead.
just with
Yeah, go ahead.
very relevant for now. The symbol,
Absolutely.
if you can show the spiral that I send you, the symbol, this is the Bulgarian
Yes.
symbol.
Yeah, yeah. Hang on. Hang
Something
on one
to
second. Let me
watch.
get there. Wait. Hang on. Let me
Or
get
what
there.
is behind me here right now, you can see that symbol in the middle.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I wanna, because tomorrow it's 11/11. It's a portal. What it's like, a lot of information there. For me, these are the two pillars. You see the two pillars. When the two, and this is, I'm talking in terms of a very personal journey, a very middle of that, a very within
this right here.
two pillars. When two become one, when our own duality, we integrated, become one, creates opening. That one within us create an opening and becomes like a chalice. So our first task is to bring ourselves together. So just to watch for 11, 12, and 13. 13 is the center. So 11, 12 getting together, completing the matrix. The 12 is the matrix of perception. And 13, we break out into the individuality. So these 3 days as a sequence are very powerful. I've been giving a lot of signs for these dates. It is much more to talk about. We can do another show, but just watch. Tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 11, 12, 13. Yeah. After the mastery, yes.
So you're saying everybody stay on your toes. Don't let your guard down. Be aware. But yeah, you know what? 11, 12, 13. And then I noticed too, the 108, which is 11 times 12.
9.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's, yeah, that's what I meant. 9 times 11 is 108. So that 108, that kind of stuck out for me because 9's a big deal and 12's a big deal for me. Yeah.
Yeah, because we stuck in one number, and this is being given a lot. The sequence of numbers, it's where I create the motion. And when we stuck in one, this is much more, it's coming, the numbers as a energetic. When we just stuck in one number, for example, I like number 7 because I'm born on 7 and I stuck number 7. But the sequence of numbers, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, or like the sequence, watch, and this is what is going to happen more and more with people now. We were stuck on numbers 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2. Now the sequence, watch for, and I'm just saying these are like down again from the spiral. The sequences creates the movement. We are not a still frame. Now we've been studying the frame. Now we start to move. The spiral,
Now we're
of movement.
That makes sense.
Movement. So
that makes sense.
Let's get
like
moving.
11, 12. time to shine your light and shake your soul. Shake it.
And everything you have.
We should do another one in we should do another one in 2 weeks. That's what we ought to do.
Yeah.
God, it's weird hanging around you this time of year. Talk about a cycle, right? 2017, 2018, 2019 now. And it's all the same part of the year. It's like our year starts around October. And, really, if you look back at the last 2 or 3 years, at least for me, everything shifted beginning in October. It starts to really become noticeable 11/11. And then on the solstice, it's like big shifts coming. And then you go into the first of the year. But these last 2 years have been like that, which is not a coincidence. There's a lot of connections that have become very strong and evident in the last couple of years. So let's do it again. When you get back to the States, we'll be a little bit closer to you. We're probably by car 60 hours away.
You're always close to me.
Yeah, we'll be like 30 away.
Yeah, but yes.
So yeah, God and Goddess willing.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you all for receiving me. And
put your link for because 2 people asked, put your link for your page or how to get in touch with you.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Thank you.
All right.
May the
All right.
spiral force be with you.
Hasta luego, mi hermana. Tzveta.